Flosstube friends. This is Kate from Kate's Crafting Corner, and I am here for my first Flosstube video of 2021. It has been a while. I meant to update sooner, but with everything that's been going on in the world, I just haven't really been there in a place that I wanted to film. And I also had some changes I wanted to make to the channel, and so I figured a new month I'm going to start implementing them. And one of the first things you may or may not notice is that I am going to be splitting my videos into different categories. So this will just be cross-stitching or sewing type activity. So it might include some quilting if I don't have any of that to update you guys, but if I do that, or project bags, because that's sewing and cross-stitch. And then the other episodes will be yarn crafts, so knitting, crochet, that type of thing, and I will be calling that Knitcast because they call them knitting podcasts. I don't really understand it why, but why they don't call it a knitcast like we call it Flosstube or something like that. I don't know. So I'm calling it Kate's Knitcraft, and then I'll have them clearly labeled like that. So Kate's Knitcraft episode 1 or whatever, like that. And then the ones about cross stitch will be Flosstube, and I'll continue the numbering as I have been. But anything that involves like life updates, I will be filming a section every time called life updates, and I'll insert that into the end of each of that week's 2 episodes. So if you only want to watch knitting videos, you'll still see those life updates at the end. Or if you only want to watch the cross stitch videos, you'll see those life updates at the end. Or if you're watching both, you can watch one and ignore it on the other and just end the video. Or if you aren't interested in my life at all, you can completely ignore those sections because it will be at the very end. But then I don't miss anything for either of the videos, or I'm probably only gonna film once a week, maybe twice. So get the 3 videos all filmed at the same time and then slowly edit it. My intentions are to have Flosstube videos on Thursdays and knitting videos on Mondays, going up around probably 9 a.m. So I'm probably going to schedule them to go up. So we'll see how that works out. You guys know that I love to change my plans, but I'm just hoping to kind of elevate the professionalism a little bit, just make it feel more polished. And also, I feel like I do better with a schedule and a plan, and so this is my schedule and plan that I'm going to try to implement. So we'll see what happens. But so this one is the Flosstube update, and I went and I made a list because I ramble less when I make a list. And so I'm going to start by showing you guys my whips that I have worked on in the last month. I am doing Whip Go from Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and then I'm also doing this event called a Zombie Run in the Daily 30 group, and they really limit the number of members in their group, so, and signups are closed, I believe. So unfortunately, if you're not in that group, you can't really join it right now, but you can keep your eye out for when they open it up for membership. They just want the group to stay around 200 members, so they really keep a limit on who can, not who can be in, but like when you can join. So for the zombie run, you picked 4 projects and you had no idea what the challenge was going to be. Because I probably would have picked different projects had I known, but that's okay. It's okay. So what you have to do is every month you need to get, well, I'm Team Human, so my updates have to be in 400 stitch increments. If you're Team Zombie, your updates have to be in 200 stitch increments. And like, I should have chosen Team Zombie, except for I don't like zombies, so I didn't want to be a zombie. But anyways, 400 is a big amount for me when I switch my projects too often. But anyways, so every month my goal will be to get 400 or 800 on the 4 projects I chose. They are Serengeti from Chatelaine, Halloween Rules from Lizzie Kate, Pandemic from Lawn Dog Sampler, and Gloria from Mill Hill, which I'm hoping to finish this month. I'll talk about that in my plans section. But anyways, so most of the projects that I intend to work on are related to either my Whip Go draws for the month or that zombie run. I'm really trying to not start as many things this year and to knock some things out to decrease my my whip pile. I'm not intending on doing Mania this year with all the starts. I am doing an event called March Mayhem. That was started. I'll try to link the group down below. But in it, Stephanie Kine, I'm not sure if that's how you say her last name, but Miss Oh So Crafty, she came up with this idea for her own March Mayhem, to go with basketball, March Madness. But where she picks 8 projects, and then after doing, I think it's 100 or 200 stitches on each of them, that you vote, and so it becomes like a bracket situation. And so she asked if other people wanted to do that, and I thought that was a really cool idea. So I will be picking 8 projects to do for that March Mayhem, so you guys can look for that coming up. But 2 of mine will be the Whip Goes that are drawn that month, and then yeah, that's just kind of what's happening. But so I'm really trying to limit the number of whips I work on in a month and try to get more of a noticeable progress on them. So without further ado, I will show you guys my my progress for this month. So the first one I worked on was Visit a Haunted House, and this is what it looked like before. This is what it will look like when it's complete. And here's where I got to. Unfortunately, this month I did not reach my goal of 400 or 800 on most of my zombie run choices, but I did finish this one. I've started the border on the next one, so I am hoping in February to finish this Scarecrow one. It looks pretty easy, blocks of color. So that is what I am hoping to do for that one. Let me just put that to the side. The next one I worked on, well, this isn't necessarily in the order I worked on them, but and this is Serengeti from Chatelaine. So this is what it will look like when it's complete. I should do that one before I should do. This is what it looked like the last time I worked on it. And here is where we are at now. So I did a lot of the colors in here. Now I only have the black on these 2 on either side. So I'm gonna fill in the black and do the back stitching on these 2, and then get a work on this one. up top. I think I can do it without scrolling, so I would like to do that, but then I'll have to scroll to reach this last one. So, yeah, I'm really happy with my progress on this. I ended up doing 800 stitches, almost exactly. Next I have to show you was one of my whip goat draws. And, hang on, I should actually be checking these off to make sure I talk about all of them. That was Serengeti and Halloween Rules. Okay, so, one of my whip go ones was the Sistine Chapel whip, and unfortunately I did not reach my 1,000 stitch goal. I still need to do 400 more stitches, so I did 600. This is what it will look like when it's done. And this is what it will looked like the last time I worked on it. And here is where we are at now. So I did a lot in the border. Made some pretty decent progress on the border. And now I have to work down because what's in here is the actual part of the design. So I want to complete the border before I start working on the design itself. So, yeah, I'm happy with my progress. I might try to get those 400 stitches in tonight so I can put this back up and put it away. I'm also going to cross off the plans I'm telling you guys because I have a separate planning section down here, but the ones I've worked on, I'll just tell you my plan as I finish them. So, sorry, I'm just trying to be like more organized. Okay, this is my New Year, New Start. So you guys won't have seen this before. It is the only start I've had this month. And that is a map of Middle Earth. I know I do have 2 from Heaven and Earth Designs. I also have the Tilton one, but I haven't started that. But this one is different than those because while it is full coverage, there's only 6 colors, and it has backstitch in it. It also has a ton of half stitches, which add a lot of design elements and just make things look really nice. So I've made some pretty decent progress on this one. And here is where I'm at. So you can see how the backstitch really makes it pop the edge of the map. Like this is stitching over here, but the backstitch really helps define it. This is going to be like a mountain range or something. So I am super happy with my progress on here. I need to work more on it. Oh, I should probably say, I had intended to do a rotation style, and that's just not going to work for me. In part because I just want to get the... So because I am very challenge-based in my stitching style. And so I decided that what instead I'm going to try to do is, for challenges, look at the ones I already have worked on for the year and then base my stitching off of that. And if I need to add another whip to the list to complete a challenge, I can do that, but not to add them just to like add them. So try to focus on the ones I've already worked on in the year to make some significant progress. But if I was to do the rotation style, then I either can do challenges or I can do rotation, and I still love doing challenges, so I'm doing challenges, and that's what it is. But I'm trying to narrow the pool that I am coming from in the hopes that that will still push out finishes, but still allow me to do some challenges. So for this year, that's what we're doing. I did wanted to do the rotation, but it's just, I don't know that I would get through a rotation every time a new whip go was drawn, but especially towards the end of the year. And so, in every zombie run where I need to get 400 or 800 stitches on a project to make sure that they come up, I would rather try to, at the beginning of the month, concentrate especially on getting those amounts completed, and then worry about the rest of it later in the month. So that's just where that's at. So yeah, update on that. I do not have a specific goal about Map of Middle Earth for next month. I am hoping to work on it some, but I don't have a specific goal. Let's see. Next we have Pandemic from Long Dog Samplers. This is what it will look like when it's done. And this is what it looked like last time. And I only got 150 stitches in, so I did not make my 400 or 800 goal, which is part of why I need to make those goals my priorities. But here it is. Of course, the lighting is not showing it at all like how it is. Maybe a little bit like that. Anyways, so I worked on this design element and this one, and then I worked down right there. I need to for sure get at least 400 stitches on this, but preferably 8. I'll put those away later. So Pandemic. Next, we have my Heaven and Earth Designs. And this is one I restarted. I restarted it at the beginning of the year on the 1st. That's what it will look like. This is what I had done before, but the fabric had gotten kind of stained. And the masking tape situation, and just, yeah. So I just, oh, the stains are more over, I don't know. Anyways, I decided to restart it, and I'm very happy that I did. So this is what I had done on it previously. And this is what I did. So I was trying to do a challenge with this, where you do like 50 stitches a day, but for me, picking up one project and doing just 50 stitches doesn't really work for me. So instead, what my goal is to do 1 row across a month. So I obviously didn't finish. I was trying to do literally just 1 row, and that did not work at all for me. So then I decided to do one like 10 by 10 row. Well, 10 by the length of the project. Width of the project, yeah, at a time. So that is where it is at now, and I think it is so pretty. So my goal for this next month is to finish what I didn't do for January and to do February's, so the first 2 rows. Part of what's taken so long is setting up these initial threads, because they all had to be started, and that takes a lot of time on a full coverage where there's so many colors per square. But now that I have so many of them parked, the process should be able to go a bit faster. So I hope that doing those 2 rows will be relatively simple for this next month, since February is a short month. And any goals that don't get accomplished in February, I'll just migrate to March. So it's not really a big deal. Next I want to show you guys my two, bookstore. My two other chatelaines I worked on, and that is London Gardens. I worked on while visiting my sister Jo this past week. I only did less than 200 stitches. Here we go. So what oh geez, okay, there that goes. I did this green around, and then I started working in the path. So yeah, I worked on this because it's for my sister Jo, and I was visiting her, and so I worked on it while I was with her. I need to do at least another 300 stitches on this for some challenges. So even though it wasn't a whip go or a zombie run project, I will still be working on that in February. So that's London. The other chatelaine, Paris, was my January whip go call. And so I did over 1,000 stitches on this because I did complete the goal. And this is what it will look like when it's finished. And this is what it looked like last time I worked on it. And here it is now. So I completely finished this bottom garden, and I did the black outline and then the blue and the gold on this other bottom one. So I am so happy with my progress on this. I hope to be able to come back to this again this year and finish out this garden and work on some of those other elements in this. I would love to be able to finish part 1 this year. This is actually the first chatelaine I ever started, and it's for my sister Kirsten, who loves Paris. So okay, now that will bring us to this month's whip go. So my goal, sorry, I'm done with whips. That completes all the whips that I worked on. Now we're into planning. So my goal for each of my whip goes is 1,000 stitches. So the two that got drawn this month, the first one is Lantern Lane. This is what it will look like when it's finished. And here is where I am at right now. So 1,000 stitches on this should be some pretty good progress. Maybe I'll completely be able to finish those windows and this bottom gate. I'm trying to finish up the motifs over here so that I can complete this half of the design. So yeah, 1,000 stitches should be some really decent progress. So what I'm saying is finish, oops, this side, this bottom border, and then start, maybe do at least this, and then come back over here and do the windows before finishing and working more that way. So I'm really excited to work on this one. My other Whip Go draw for this month is Prairie Schooler Santa, and so this will be a new start. So if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I made one of these for my husband when we were still dating in 2017, and that's what it looks like, and I finished it with this background fabric. Then in 2018 I made this one. Still haven't finished it, like FFO'd it, but I have more of that same background fabric, so I just need to do that. So I didn't do one in 2019 or 2020, so I need to make up and do 2 of those, and then one for 2021, as well as these Prairie School Santas. I wanted to do one each year. We got married. We've been married, so we got married in 2019, so I should have done that in 2019, 2020, and then I need to do number 3 also for 2021. I have not started any of those. The one I will be doing 1,000 stitches on will be 2013 Santa with the clocks. My husband does have a family heirloom clock like that. I mean, its design is a little different, but the basic old school clock made me decide to do this one for him. So this will be a new start for me, and I have been stitching all of these on the same fabric. It is actually, I don't know if the sparkle really shows up on the camera, but it's Charles Craft's Stardust 14 count gold dusted, and these Santas look so pretty on it. I did get another one of these at the store so that I could do the 12 Days of Christmas Santas on them as well. I still need to purchase the other 2 pamphlets with the 12 Days of Christmas, and then purchase another 2 Prairie Schooler Santas like that. So I'll do that probably a little bit later in the year. But maybe if I start now in January, I will be able to actually complete these this year. I am thinking when I finish Gloria, I will need to add a new project in for the zombie run, and I'm thinking that it might be the Santas, and then as I finish one, I will just sub in a different one. So that's where my head is at right now with those. So those are the 2 Whip Go. Oh, oops, this didn't go in there. Those are the 2 Whip Go drawings for this month. And again, my goal is 1,000 stitches. And then the only other project that I have plans on stitching this month that I haven't talked to you guys yet is Gloria. Well, I haven't showed you guys. So this is what she will look like when she's complete. It's for my parents. She looks like. And here is where I am at now. So I'm very nearly done with the cross stitch, and then I have to do the beading. But I mean, you can see that most of what's left is very much block stitching and should go pretty quickly. So I'm really hoping that this one will be done this month. And that's all there is for plans for cross stitch. I'm gonna quickly talk about quilting plans. So the other day the electricity went out. There was a big windstorm, rainstorm, and the electricity got knocked out. And so instead of going to bed like a responsible adult, I was watching YouTube quilting videos with Missouri Star Quilting Company, and I have a few pre-cut things in my stash. These three in particular, actually. And so I found patterns that I want to do for all of them. And look at this one. Such pretty pattern fabrics. And so this is one I love. And so I'm just thinking about lap quilts, not large quilts. So bright. Anyways, so I found patterns for all of those during the storm, and so I've really been wanting to do them. So one of my goals for this month is to cut out the fabric for one of these, and not all of them, just one. Cut out the fabric and maybe begin piecing it. I haven't decided yet, but I really want to do some more quilting. So that is one other little goal that I had for this month. And another quilting related goal that I have for this month is I have a big tub of scrap fabrics. They're fabrics that are either left over from quilts I've made or just were too small for my boards. And so I found this whole blog post about how to cut and store your scrap fabrics, and so I want to do at least 5 hours a month of scrap fabric maintenance, so cutting them down to size and storing them. I do need to order some baskets that I will be storing them in. I found ones I like off Amazon, and I'll put a picture of what they look like. But so basically I need 6 of them, I think, for the different fabric sizes. And it's things like 2.5 inches you put in one, and then 3.5 inches you put in another, and then I think the next one is 5, 7.5. Oh my gosh. I'm mind blanking. I think I forgot a couple sizes. But anyways, I think maybe 1.5 even. But so what you do is you cut the biggest strip that you can every time, and you put it in the scrap basket. So if you have like a 6.5 inch piece of fabric, you would cut a 5-inch, you would cut it 5 inches, and then you would cut the 1.5 inch that's remaining, you would put in your 1.5 inch basket, and that type of thing. And that makes it so when you go to do a scrappy project, like a log cabin or just like a scrappy project, you can pull from those already pre-cut leftovers and create really beautiful projects. And so so I really need to spend some time doing that and going through and just measuring them and starting to get that all organized. And so I even know where I'm going to put the baskets. My little TV stand that I have, I'm going to move the books that I have stored there onto a bookshelf. One of my neighbors was moving in the fall, and so we took their really beat up bookshelf so that I can start storing some books. So I'm going to take my books that are in the craft room to that space, and then I'm going to turn that shelf into a scrap fabric shelf is my plans. And so I'm really excited about it. It's something I've been thinking about doing for about a year now, but I just haven't gotten around to it. So I really want to make time this year to spend about 5 hours a month working on trying to get through that scrap fabric tub. So, the only other thing I have to talk about in this video is I went to a stitching night meetup for the first time in like 3 years with some of the ladies that are in my area, and it was a ton of fun, like a lot of fun. I really needed that. I've basically not really seen anyone I'm not related to in like 11 months, I think, at this point. So it was so good. And while there, the host had decided to power down her stitching room stash and things like that. So she had a ton of cross stitch magazines that she wanted us to take off her hands. So I got 2 big bags. This is just one of cross stitch magazines. Mainly what I wanted was oh, these are some cross stitch collections. I wanted the cross stitch gold, so I took like almost all of them. I mean, I was trying to go through and just pare them down, but then people were like, just take them all, and so I basically did. So one thing I would like to do is to start going through them, and I'm trying to decide. I'm thinking that I'm going to like cut them out and store them in. I have a bunch of binders that aren't really being used right now, so I'm thinking about storing them by categories, like alphabets all in one binder, and Christmas things all in another binder, and series in another, like that type of thing. Just so it's easier to flip through and find a chart you really want to work on. So this is something I've also thought about doing for a while with the magazines I already had. So I'm going to get some binder protector page covers and start working on that. But she was also giving away, she had started this needlepoint some years ago, I guess. Like took a class or something. And so she was giving it away. And I've always really wanted to learn needlepoint. And so, yeah, I took it from her. And she so generously included like all the materials. So this is what she had done, Janet had done, and that's so cool. I'm so excited to work on this. I've already gone through the whole pattern and looked at it and familiarized myself with what she had done, and what was still to do. It looks like she's been doing the pin stitch here or something like that, so I'm going to need to learn how to do that. But yeah, I'm just so excited. I've really always wanted to learn needlepoint. So this is a different colorway, but it's the same pattern. And that's what it will look like. And that's in blues and yellows. And this is in more like greens and pinky colors. So I'm so excited. And look at how long this pattern is. I'm so excited. So excited. So yeah, I hope to start working on this pretty soon. And to just yeah, really learn how to do needlepoint. Because I have some needlepoints on my wish list and on 123 Stitch, but I've always been like, well, you don't really know how to do needlepoint, and that's out of your reach, and that type of thing, which is stupid. But anyways, so this is going to give me the opportunity to try it, see if this is something I like, which I kind of anticipate that it will be because I love specialty stitches. So that's all I really have to share. If you keep watching, you'll see the rest of my life update in a minute. If not, bye. Hey guys, so I'm just quickly going to do some life updates and include this on both of the videos that I just filmed. So the first life update is that my middle sister, Johanna, just moved, and I'm super sad about it. Her husband's in the Navy, and they had been living down in Fresno, but he got moved to Washington, and yesterday she just moved up there. He had moved actually earlier, but then he deployed for a long time, and then he was back for about 4 months, so she was there with him for about 4 months. And then she had just come back down in the middle of January to pack up the house and move their stuff. And yesterday she left. Well, actually she left today, but I had to come back up here yesterday. So yesterday I had to say goodbye, and now she's in Washington State, and it sucks because I miss her. And if you've been following my Flosstube videos, you'll know I've got one sister in Germany and another sister in Singapore, and Jo was just the sister close by me, and it sucks that now she's like so much farther away. That, I mean, I know that like physically she's closer to me than the other two sisters, but when you still have to take a plane ride to get to see anyone, it's just kind of like doesn't feel like a huge difference in distance, even though it is technically closer. It still means that I can't just hop in the car, drive 3 hours, and see her. So it really sucks, and it was hard saying goodbye, but thus is life, and military life doesn't really let you stay in one place. So yeah, that's my update with Jo. My next update is a week and a half ago. It was the middle of the night, and my husband and I are both like night owls, and like 3:30 in the morning we hear some popping noises, and our neighbor's house had caught fire. Like the fireman, well, so my husband noticed it first and was shouting at me to come and then call 911 as he was using our garden hose to try to put it out. And he didn't put it out, but like kept it contained. And the fireman said that like if we hadn't caught it, that the neighbors probably would have lost their house, and we probably could have lost ours, because the houses are not so very far apart, and where the fire was is like right near where our bedroom is. And they say that usually those middle of the night fires, that people don't really catch them soon enough to save houses. And so we were really fortunate, and the neighbors were really fortunate, as there was no interior damage, just exterior. But it was insane. Like, all the times I've said that I need to be better about going to bed at normal human times, well, for once it paid off. It saved our house. It saved the next door neighbor's house. And yeah, so that was way dramatic. And then the very next night we had this massive windstorm with like, I don't know, the forecast said it could get up to 60 miles per hour. I stopped tracking how high up it got, but it knocked the power out where we lived for a few hours. And during that time, someone came through our whole neighborhood. And in our neighborhood, we've got those community mailboxes that serve like 8 houses in the area about. Well, someone went through our whole neighborhood and broke into them and stole people's mail. And luckily, Georgie and Gracie think that checking the mail is some kind of massive, huge treat. And so we check it every day because they get so excited. But, yeah, we could we didn't lose any mail, but some of our neighbors did. And today they finally installed the new one and gave us keys so we could get our mail. But yeah, that was 2 very dramatic days in a row. But yeah, the next kind of life update. So if you were watching my Vlogmas, I mentioned that I thought there was a chance Gracie's pregnant. And it's really looking like she's pregnant. They aren't able to tell on an x-ray till they're about 45 days pregnant, and dogs are only pregnant for about 63, so way late into the pregnancy. And so the vet wasn't able to tell for sure, but he said it looked like she was. And since that visit like 2 weeks ago, she has significantly increased in belly size, and she sleeps all day and everything. So in a few weeks, we might be having some little baby puppies running around. We did want to litter, just we had hoped for another year before it happened, because they're just so cute, but would have been nicer if Gracie was at least 2. She is 1.5 years. But what happened, and we didn't like try to force them together or anything like that. They were caught being quite mischievous about it. Like, I turned my back to fold some laundry, and I came out of the laundry room, and there they were, tied together. And yeah, so that's what's happening there. And on one hand, like, we did wish it would not happen so soon, but on another hand, I'm not working right now, so the timing is okay in that respect, because I'll be here to help with the whole birthing process and making sure the puppies are okay until they go to their new forever homes. So yeah, that's Gracie's news. Next, there's this lotion I'm so excited to tell you guys about. Because I love it so much. And this is a shop off of Etsy called Happy Hands. And it is made specifically for handcrafters. I've mainly seen it advertised to knitters, but for me it's more beneficial for cross stitching, because you always worry about the grease and oil and your hand lotions getting onto your projects, and this one doesn't, for sure. And so I got a 36 sample pack like a year ago or something like that, and I've been slowly making my way through the different flavors to find which ones I liked the best. And so these were 3 of my favorites, and I just got them in the mail like 2 weeks ago. So Sunny Tea is my absolute favorite. This mulled cranberry is very nice. And then this one is grapefruit bergamot. Very, very nice flavors. I have one downstairs that's another favorite. I forget what one that is though. But anyways, if you're looking for some good lotion and want to support not a local, because unless you live in New Mexico, it's not local to you, but a small business, I really, really, really recommend Happy Hands. It does not get on your projects at all. It sinks into the skin so quickly, and it really just leaves your hands feeling nicely moisturized. So check them out. Consider getting the 36-cent flavor. The sizes of them. This is the size of their sample packets. That's in the 36. So you'll get to smell all of them, and then pick and choose your favorites to make a bigger order with. So yeah, I was so excited when I saw that. I got that in the mail, and actually they changed the name of the grapefruit bergamot. It used to be something else. I think just like citrus something. Anyways, I didn't realize they changed the name. So I had ordered a 3-pack of like smaller sample size, and so I decided to get the grapefruit bergamot in that. Oh, grapefruit twist is what it used to be called. So I decided to get the sample flip with this grapefruit bergamot, not realizing that it was the same thing as the grapefruit twist. And so I'll actually be including this in the giveaway from my Vlogmas as one of the like little extras. So you whoever wins will get a chance to, oh man, it's so good, so good. So whoever wins will get a chance to sample these Happy Hands lotions. I love them so much. But anyway, so that brings me to the giveaway winner. Only 7 people entered my Vlogmas giveaway, which is totally fine, which means that those 7 people have a decent chance, you know, a more than 10% chance that you get to be the winner. I say 7, but one of those 7 is my mom, and so if her number is drawn, I'm gonna move on to the next person because she wasn't really entering, she just wanted to answer the question. But so I put 1 through 7 here, and then I'll pull up the video. Oh my gosh, I know my mom is number 2, and that's the number that came up. So we'll generate that again to number 3. So number 3 on that video is Debbie Shetland. So Debbie, I'm going to leave a comment on here for you. And if you'll just email me, let's see, I asked what other things. Well, I asked a favorite memory to share, and they had a childhood home with a winding staircase, and they always had a 14-foot tree, which is amazing. Wow. We had to climb the stairs to hang the ornaments. That's so cool. That's so cool, Debbie. Okay, also, she only really cross stitches, but she's obsessed with it. So the reason I asked people what other hobbies they might have done was because if you knitted, I was considering doing a knitted project bag, but Debbie only cross stitch, so instead I will give her a cross stitch project bag as opposed to a knitting one. So Debbie, when I get the address from you, I will get your package out, your giveaway present. And thank you so much for everyone who entered. Thank you for everyone who watched my Vlogmas. It was so much fun to do. And it will take me a tiny bit of time to get that package out, Debbie. But that's because I rarely leave the house to go to the post office. And I don't have a car right now. I'm basically a hermit. So as soon as I'm able to, I will get that package out for you. But thank you so much, Debbie. And you did leave a lot of comments for me while watching Vlogmas, and I really appreciated all of them. So I'm so happy that you won, and hope to get in touch soon. The last little update that I want to mention is the channel update. I mentioned this already for sure in the Flosstube one. I don't know if I really mentioned it in the knitting one. But so basically up until now, I've just done Flosstube updates, and I've included like all of my crafts in the videos. And I know not everyone is interested in all crafts. I know this because my sister-in-law told me she watches up through the cross stitching and then stops watching. So, so I know some people only are interested in one thing as opposed to another. So, so back in the fall, I decided that it would be a good idea to split, especially as I was spending a lot more time knitting, to split my videos into 2 separate hobbies. And I was hoping that doing that and making it a regular thing would help the videos to not be so long, but also so that people who are only interested in one particular craft or hobby wouldn't have to either sift through to find what they're interested in, or, you know, maybe people who are only interested in knitting might discover my channel, that type of thing. And so I decided to do that in the new year, and since this is actually only the first time I'm updating, this is just the first time I'm telling you guys about it, well, or explaining how it's going to be happening. So, what I'm looking to do, and I want to be super regular and more on top of this, is I am looking to do 2 video updates a week. So on Mondays, I'm going to be doing knitting and yarn related craft updates. So this will mainly include knitting and crochet, but one thing I'd really love to get into is drop spindle winding, and if I enjoy that, I'd love to someday get into spinning, like a spinning wheel, possibly move that into then loom. I have to stop watching Grace's Babel's Traveling Yarn because she just has me wanting to do everything, but she's so great. But so that's the kind of thing that I would include in those weekly videos. Then on Thursdays, I would have cross stitch or quilting, anything to do with sewing related videos. I'm looking to have those scheduled for like 9 a.m. Pacific time each day. I would probably film them both maybe on Saturday or Sunday, and then I have a little bit of time to get them edited and uploaded. And so I really want to work on my consistency on uploading, and hopefully with uploading more frequently, my updates will be shorter. And so that's my big channel update that I'm going to look to do. And then this section, like the life update section, I would film once and include in both videos at the end. So those are my updates for the channel. I'm really hoping that this is something that I can be better at, more consistent with, and that it's something that you guys want, because if you guys don't want it, then I don't have to do it this way. But I just thought it would be better for people who just don't want super long videos. But anyways, these are both going to be super long videos, and editing's going to take a while, but I hope you bear with me as we adjust together towards some changes on the channel, and hopefully they'll be good changes, and that we'll all enjoy it a lot. So for now, I'm going to say goodbye. I am probably not going to edit this tonight because I need to unwind a little bit. It's been a stressful couple of days. Just, you know, mentally was saying goodbye to my sister, and then I didn't sleep well last night, so I'll probably just edit this tomorrow and upload it, and then I will, for the Flosstube, and then I will have the yarn one edited for a Monday upload. So I'm really looking forward to doing this and going forward, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. I will talk to you guys later. Bye.